Good evening, I'm Jeff Lyons. This is the 14First Alert Weather Show at 9 o'clock. I'm glad you're here tonight. We start off another week here with near record temperatures. We will likely get even warmer as the week goes on. If you have questions or comments, put them on the 14 News Facebook page, and we'll get to those here in just a little bit. It's a pleasant evening out there, very warm, of course, for April. Usually it's already in the 50s by this time of night. Not so tonight. We're still hanging in the 70s. It's breezy and warm. Record high temperatures will be possible tomorrow, Wednesday, and again on Friday, and we have some thunderstorm chances sprinkled in between. The record high for tomorrow is actually 86, and our forecast for tomorrow is 87, and then Wednesday, it'll be close there. The record is 86 from just a couple years ago, and 85 is our forecast, also 85 on Friday. Current temperatures around the area now, low 70s out there, and the humidity is up a bit. It feels a little more like late spring or summer as opposed to early April. I guess I made my point on that. It doesn't feel like an April night. As we go through the next 24 hours, the clouds will part again, and we will have sunshine, southerly winds, and much warmer highs for tomorrow. Wednesday, same thing, just ahead of the potential for some scattered rain moving in late Wednesday night and early Thursday. The only problem here, and the thing that's going to hobble any rain chances for us, is that we have a dome or a ridge of high pressure and somewhat dry air. And so when these storms move into that, they break up, and therefore the heavier rain, the beneficial soaking rain, probably won't make it in here, at least not in the Thursday outlook. Over the weekend, maybe a chance for more significant rainfall, and that's when we will see a break then with these near record temperatures as a cold front comes through. That'll push us back down into the normal range, which is around 68 or so for the high and 45 for the low. Looking at the weekend, our best chance for rain will arrive Saturday evening, and then after that we dry out and clear out. Northwesterly winds will take that temperature down, and we will remain cool or subdued, let's put it that way, for the first part of next week. The storm risk chart, and this is interesting, it doesn't change a whole lot. You have the same general areas here. Outlook for severe weather today and again tomorrow. An enhanced risk, or level 3, up there around Chicago, Rockford, Madison, Wisconsin. And even on Wednesday, we still have a lingering chance for severe weather off to the northwest. Here in the tri-state, about the best we will be able to do will be a few scattered thunderstorms, and that's pretty much it. 73 out there now with winds out of the south at 11, and our highs today were in the low 80s. Now tomorrow we should bump that up into the mid to upper 80s. Nobody was in that range today. Omaha, I guess, was at 88, but we will definitely warm up. Our temperature slightly cooler than it was last night at this time. Our degrees from normal, though, look at that. This morning we were 25 degrees above the normal low. We only got down to 70, and then for the afternoon high, we were 13 degrees above normal. So that makes our calendar orange here. We will have many orange days coming up this week, and hopefully some green days in there too with rain, but it's not looking good for significant rainfall this week. Our rainfall for the month now lags by about 1.5 inches and nearly 4.5 inches for the year. And our average temperature is still through the roof there, about 8.8 degrees warmer than normal. The drought situation will only worsen. Even if we get that rain this week, I think we will see all the tri-state painted in that abnormally dry to moderate drought status. At the moment, we have a lot of severe weather, as was expected, up over the Midwest here. We'll zoom in on Minneapolis there and over to Green Bay. Cluster of strong to severe storms kind of working along that warm front at the moment, and just one tornado warning at this time. That front will continue to lift, and then the low moves in, so you basically replace one trigger mechanism with another, and then a third here with that cold front. Notice how the front elongates instead of pushes through the tri-state, and that's because that high pressure down over the southeast will continue to force everything back to the west and keep the active weather out of here. So if you don't like storms, you're actually in for a pretty quiet ride this week. Again, the hour by hour highlighting our best chance for rain as early Thursday in southern Illinois and then area wide through the afternoon. But it will be scattered thunder showers in the works. The GFS then into next week is dry after we get those storms through here on Saturday, and we don't see any additional rain showing up for much of next week, at least not through Wednesday. Rainfall totals very muted here on the GFS. This would take us all the way through the middle of next week, in other words, 8 days out, and we're only looking at maybe 3/4 of an inch, the average idea there on the models. The European also painting some rain in here on Thursday, and again Saturday afternoon and evening, and then drying and cooler behind it. And the European is also pretty light on rainfall potential over that entire event, maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of 3/4 of an inch, pretty much in line with the GFS. 67 tonight, the high tomorrow gets up to 87 degrees, and then we stay warm, very warm, all the way through Friday. Saturday, the heat wave will start to break down a little bit, and we're still expecting warmer than normal temperatures through the 27th of April, and wetter than normal too, so a couple more rounds of rain possible. Well, there's Fred again. We've got a kitty back there for our pet picture tonight. Always good to see those, and keep sending them in. We'll try to share as many as we can here on the 14First Alert Weather Show at 9. Let me switch over here and see if you all have any comments that we can handle here. A few of you watching. And we've got Paula Schaefer, welcome. Jeff Miller's garden needs rain. I don't doubt that. What time should the rain start on Saturday? Janet Stapleton. Probably in the afternoon or evening. Zach Seitz is on, and Suzanne Daly is on there too. Cheyenne Hammonds. So good to have everybody on board here to kick off the week together. In Science Corner tonight, we have a couple things to talk about. And one, I mentioned earlier, you know how we have this high pressure kind of blocking out the storms. Another little cluster there, incidentally, around Kansas City and Independence. And you've noticed, of course, this kind of ring of fire formation where the storms are riding around the periphery of a high pressure ridge, and that's going to persist at least through Wednesday, if not all week. And part of the reason we're not seeing just pop up, air mass type thunderstorms is the atmosphere is likely capped, meaning we have warmer air, even warmer than the surface, aloft, a few thousand feet up. And so what happens is we get cloud cover, but it can't penetrate that cap or that warm air up there. It usually takes some sort of forcing mechanism like a front, low pressure system, or a really good thunderstorm that gets energetic. A lot of updraft to it can sometimes punch through. And that is often the basis for a supercell to form when that occurs. The cap can erode a couple of ways. Either the temperature here on the ground can exceed what the cap is, and then you have basically free convection. The storms can go straight up. But if you have a pretty persistent cap in place, those storms are not going to develop. But when they do, when they break through the cap, they rapidly intensify because all of a sudden they've got access to cold and drier air, which causes evaporation, and it causes those thunderstorms then to create downdrafts and rain and hail. And sometimes if we have the right upper level winds, you can get rotating thunderstorms too. One way to spot an inversion or a cap in the atmosphere is to look at the sounding, which is what a weather balloon generates. The weather balloon goes up through the clouds and up several thousand feet and reports pressure, wind direction, and speed, and then the dew point and the temperature. The temperature always plotted there to the right, at least on a skew-T chart, which is what this is, or an atmospheric sounding. And if you see a little bulge here at the surface or near it, that's where we have an inversion, where the temperature is actually warmer. Remember, this is a temperature line down here. And so what happens over time is as you warm up the air parcel, if it can get out here beyond that lip, let's say that's 80 degrees and this would be 85. If you get there, then you break the cap naturally. The heat on the surface is greater than that aloft, and so then you have free convection. And that's when we get air mass type thunderstorms and pop-ups too. Typically we start the day with inversions this time of the year where we have warmer air aloft. That's why we sometimes have fog, or we have smoke and stuff that gets trapped down here at the surface. So that's how inversions and caps inhibit thunderstorm development, and that's why we're going to have a quiet ride, at least for the first part of the week. I'll see if we have any more questions. James Garrison, I see Minnesota got a tornado tonight per Ryan Hall. Yeah, they've got quite a bit of weather there around Minneapolis. Let's see. I think that's it. Yeah, I haven't talked to my friend Chad Seawitch. He's probably checking it all out up there, as he often does. You never get the weather out of your blood, even though he's working at the University of Minnesota now in marketing capacity. Anyway, that's all I have for you tonight. I will update the forecast as always for 14 News at 10, and I'll see you back here tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Stay safe